Hello there. Happy Friday. This is the second live stream that I'm doing today. I did one earlier over on Joe Does Stuff first thing this morning, prior to going to work this morning. And then I got a chance to look at that live stream after the fact. I did it from on the road, IRL, and it looked so bad. Oh, God. I don't know what it is about trying to stream out in the field using your phone through the YouTube app. Man, that shit just comes out bad. But anyways, hey, here we are. It's Friday afternoon. What's going on with you guys? Hopefully you're having a great day. Ready for the weekend. Hopefully your work week is completed. Mine is. Had some work pop up this week, so I wasn't doing any live streams the last couple of days, where I had done one, I think Monday and Tuesday, and then I didn't do one Wednesday, Thursday, and here we are Friday. But anyways, I'm back. Had some big work to do this week. Felt really good doing that work. I got a new helper guy who's been with me now for about 2 or 3 weeks. He's working out really well. His name is Brandon. Super good guy. Like him a lot. And he's just different. He's different from everybody that I've had in the past. And he's been to prison. He's actually got a little bit of a prison story, which maybe we introduce him and we do like some big DJ Vlad style after prison show-esque type video with him at some point. I thought about doing a podcast episode with him. He's a pretty articulate type of a guy. He doesn't drink. He don't do drugs. He's got a legit driver's license. He's got a car. And he's not a skilled guy, but yet I'm paying him like a moderately skilled guy just because of all of the above. Yeah. So anyways, he's been with me this week as we've been, grinding it out on some jobs, some pretty tough stuff. I had to replace an attic door. That was not easy, given that they wanted the configuration changed on it. That complicated matters. It went from a wooden set of stairs to an aluminum set of stairs. That complicated matters a little bit. I had to install a new handrail and post on a front porch holding up half of a house. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff with that. But anyways, today we wrapped everything up within about 30 minutes. All we had to do was just a little bit of touch-up paint, nothing major. So we get everything wrapped up and there's nothing else to do for the day except videos. So not only is this guy Brandon my helper, he's also the new Cody. The new and improved Cody. In fact, today was training day on how to be a cameraman for Joe, because Joe requires a certain set of skills, a certain skill set to be my cameraman. And, Cody, bless his heart, love him to death. I'll never say an ill word against him, but he did have one particular flaw. And that was that anytime shit got hot, he was quick to drop the camera. Not drop the camera literally, but like put the camera down. Like if somebody was like, hey, don't film me, or, you're not allowed to film in here, he would immediately put the camera down. And that caused, me to tell him time and time again, hey, don't ever do that. Like, forget all of that. We're content creators. We've got a different set of rules that we play by. So that was the first lesson that I taught this guy, Brandon. And I said, and what's different from then to now, like with Cody, was it was never as intense as I guess it's been as of late. And it's getting, like every day I get a little bit more froggy with my endeavors. I'm out here doing some pretty wild shit. So as I'm teaching this guy how to be the cameraman, and it's very easy to be the cameraman right now because I've got a 360 camera that I actually use for a lot of the stuff. And people don't like the 360 camera. I do, though, because you never miss the shot. So long as you got that camera up, down, sideways, above the head, behind the back, look at them arms. Joe getting there. So long as you got that camera out, it's capturing shit. So anyways, I teach them that first lesson, like, hey, listen, we're going to be in the thick of it sometimes, and people might try to get aggressive, and they might be like, yo, don't film me, or hey, you can't film in here. Don't never listen to them, okay? Just keep that camera up. So it was funny because where we were doing training day at was in one parking lot over from our first filming session. And sure as shit, folks, we go get right into the thick of it today. Now, I've been sharing with you about the homeless couple running around with their 2 children and how that's really bothering me. 2 young children. And how I just went, I think it was earlier this week, I think it was Tuesday, Monday, one of them days. I went and I found where they were staying at. And then they're staying on a freaking abandoned boat. Okay, this is a really wild situation. And, you know, I get this pretty wild video that I filmed because I meet the captain of the boat, the SS Methamphetamine. I meet the captain of that ship. Look at me. I'm the tinkering table captain. Redskin Chris, what it do? Brandon, what it do? Big Steen up in the house. 10 years, man. Longer than that. 11 maybe. 10 years probably we've been going here. Dan, what it do? Shout out to you again. Relock, what it do? Appreciate everybody taking the time to be up in here with me. R1, what's going on with you? Curtis, long time, brother. Appreciate you being up in here. Aaron, shout out to you. To everybody up in here. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. So anyways, today we go back there. Literally, I teach the guy how to use the camera in one parking lot. I tell him, don't you never throw the camera down. If anybody tries to get aggressive, let me handle it. I'm the bodyguard now. Joe been working out. Oh, I ain't really got no definition, though. But this shirt's important. We'll talk about that later. Scott says, wait, how does one find an abandoned boat? I mean, shit, right out at the end where I live at, there's 20 of them just sitting out there. People just take them and commandeer them, get them towed somewhere, and they can live on. People will give you a boat. If you go on Facebook and you search Facebook Marketplace and you search for free boats, there's 1,000 of them up there. But you got to get them. You got to get them gone. It's just like a mobile home. You can find a free mobile home, but you got to get that thing transported. Redskin Chris, use ChatGPT to remove the watermark on them soccer pics, bro. That was a Joe Does Stuff thing. But no, they blurred out the face, too. They knew what they was doing. They used ChatGPT, too. So anyways, look, in one parking lot, I taught Buddy how to use the camera. In the next parking lot, folks, I mean, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Boom. We roll around the corner. Wait, there's the car right there. Wait a minute. The car has been moved. Now, mind you, when you see the car, it is, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, the car says it all, okay, in terms of what's really going on here. But see, here's the wild thing. I got this video filmed ready to showcase. It's done. Well, it's not all the way done. I need to do a couple of alterations. I got to blur some things because it's YouTube, and for the sake of everything, I've got to blur a couple of things. I go both ways too. Wait, pause, Diddy. I'm kidding, but that did sound super sus. Redskin Chris, APSJDS. So we roll around the corner and we see the vehicle. It's in a different location now. I guess Buddy found the keys that he must have dropped in the ocean. If you do enough tinkering and digging in the carpet and peeking through the blinds, you're going to find them keys. Maybe they had to go snorkeling for them. Maybe they had a freaking a magnet fisher. Who knows? But they got the keys. The vehicle is moved. Folks, we get around the corner and it was just fucked up, man. Oh, God, it was fucked up. I see the woman. She's got the vehicle opened up. She's going through everything. It's a freaking mess. It looks like a freaking bomb went off. I mean, there's shit everywhere in the middle of this parking lot. And you go around the corner, and one of the children, and I got it all on film. Okay, I got it all on film. I go around the corner, and one of the children is standing on top of some sort of a crate, posted up, leaned up against the dumpster, and he's keeping a watch. And I don't know if he's watching the boat, if he's watching her, but he sees me. And then we go and park, and then she sees me, and she immediately goes and tries to grab him, but we run up on him. And see, this wasn't really the interaction that I wanted, so I had to be very careful with this because I want the interaction with the guy. But I got enough interaction on video with the woman that only further solidifies things. So here's the deal. When I go up on her and she's trying to gather up the child because she sees me coming with the camera, I approach her very friendly, and I just say, hey, look, I'd like to talk with you. I said, my name is Joe, and she said, I know exactly who you are. And I was like, okay, well, I gave them my business card the last time that I met with them. I gave the captain of the ship the business card to give to the guy. Because listen, if it's work that you need to provide for your family, shit, I barely got work. But I'll be damned if I won't go. I'll make some work for you. If you want to try to provide for your family and it's a job that's standing in your way, that's the only thing. Man, I'll help you. We'll get some work. Shit, we'll make content out of it. We'll paint this thing as sympathetic as it needs to be to get these kids up off of the street. But I know it's deeper than that. So anyways, when I walk up on her, I say, hey, look, my name is Joe. She says, I know exactly who you are. So I was like, okay, well, clearly she must have known about the business card. So I start talking with her. I'm having a very decent conversation with her. I'm not being accusatory. I'm being nosy for sure. I'm doing all of those things. And she's got the child standing right beside her, and the child keeps trying to get away from the camera. And I tell the child, I'm like, listen, man, I'm not filming you, so you ain't even got to worry about this. But eventually she would say, I know you from YouTube, from After Prison Show. And I was like, oh, fuck. Well, I hope you're not watching this live stream right now. That's crazy. And the child knew of me too. She said, we've seen every one of your videos or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. But here's the deal. I'm like, yo, where's dude at? Because I don't even want this interaction with you right now. Where's dude? Where's Joseph at? That's his name. Where's he at? And she was like, he's at work. And I was like, holy shit, that's great. He's at work. Well, he wasn't really at work, I guess. He was out there scrapping metal with the other guy. All of these signs are pointing toward one certain outcome. However, this is all very accusatory. And that's the one thing that I don't want to do. I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything. Now, I do have about 100 of these. I've got 100 of these. Steve, focus. There you go. I've got 100 of these. And I do have a bit of a hot chip challenge for people. Instead of a hot chip, it's a hot piss challenge. So you just piss in the cup for $20. If it's clean, you win $20. For every drug that you fail for, I deduct $5 from that. But look, it's not here to judge or make a spectacle or spectate you piss. I don't need to watch you piss. It also says if you've tampered with the urine as well. You know how people are doing audits and those videos perform well? Well, I'm going to do that as well, too. You know how there's Tweaker Safari? Well, I'm going to do that, too, except my whole thing's going to revolve around urinalysis. And I don't care how it seems. It's going to blow the frickin' lid off of the internet. I want to give Joseph the cup. What's in the cup? What's in the box? What's in the box? Just show me that I've got it all wrong here, that it's not addiction that's got your kids out in the streets. But if that piss comes back hot, I'm going to be hot. Because you're being selfish now. And see, when I was asking, I couldn't ask anything really to the child. I wasn't trying to do that. I said, listen, what could I do to help? Do these kids even have toys out there? I said, because, do they need food? Do they need toys? Can I do anything? As soon as I mentioned toys, now, mind you, the child that was there was the elder child, 10 years old. I got that confirmation today. The other one's 6. I said, where is that youngest child at? Because you've got one child that's keeping an eye out from a milk crate while you're tinkering at the tinkering table. She said he's over at the park. I said, man, he's 6 years old. You got him at the park by himself. But I mean, shit, you're living in a boat, so I guess the park might be the safest place for him. I mean, if anybody came and snatched the child up, shit, that might be the best outcome for him. As sad and screwed up as that is to say. But here's what I think, and I didn't pester, and I didn't press, and God, I wanted to. Because if I'd have found out that that youngest was in that car with that copper and going from point A to point C, and C stands for score. Oh, boy. Joe gonna be like that prison TikToker Viking mindset. He's locked up right now. Hey, John, first test on me, man. Shout out to you, John. Appreciate that. Very kind of you, sir. Might need to put that together for Joe's GTO phone time. I'm not trying to get locked up behind anything like this, or anything at all. I've got a family of my own to consider, that is first and foremost in everything. But that's what makes me so driven with this, is I think about my son. I think about my child on the way. I got a baby that's going to be here in July. And I think to myself, I'm like, man, I would never let them be in no situation like this. If I was that fucked up in the game, you leave me and you go with somebody else who can provide. Because you got to do it for the kids and for yourself. And I felt so bad for the woman. I really did. And it was crazy because, like I said, I got my guy Brandon with me, my helper. He was my cameraman on this, and I guess he did a great job. I haven't looked at the footage yet, but we got the 360 camera, so we got everything. There's no doubt about that. But I was telling him today, because we spent some time together, and I was telling him about the drama that's come from the YouTube. And I was telling him about all the people that I tried to help and so many times that went wrong and how I was always painted out as this bad guy. I said, so now I don't even really try to help people. I'm not even really trying to help. But in this case, I'm not trying to help him or her. I'm trying to help them kids. And I said, and it's ironic because there was one time when this guy tried to paint me as this bad guy because I had made a comment that I shouldn't have made, but I did. And it was out of hurt that I said this comment. I said, like Michael Jordan said, fuck them kids. Like, I don't care about no kids. I can't stand kids. I said this right after the first, the second, the third miscarriage during IVF that me and my wife went through, because I was watching my wife become a broken woman, because there's nothing like seeing a woman who can't have kids and realizing that you're not going to have kids after first and second and third rounds of fails. So I made this comment during a live stream, and it was taken to the Reddit, and then the Reddit took it to the helper that I had at that point, a guy by the name of Jaron, and then he ran with it saying that I had this big ego. He did a Facebook Live. He blocked me and said that I said, fuck them kids. I said, it's so crazy that that situation happened, and now fast forward, 5-7 years later? Now I'm ready to go war for children. How having my son and having another child on the way has totally changed my mindset in regards to that. I fear to think what my mindset would be had it never been. Maybe it would have remained with that type of thinking. But it's wild what having kids will do to you. It'll mature you more than you ever want to be mature. One of my biggest fears about having a child, especially when my wife was pregnant this last time with Liam before this time, one of my biggest fears was, oh my God, like my time. I'm not going to have my time no more. There's not going to be no more my time. And I've still found a way to get some me time, where I can do my videos, edit, whatever. But anytime I need and try to devote for my son, obviously that comes first. So when I see a situation where you've got people who ain't doing that, and to make matters even worse, when I look at this child that I see today and I see that he is fully invested in this situation that he's living in, it's almost like a Stockholm syndrome, maybe. It's tough to see. And I want to go even one further. This is where I was going probably 10 minutes ago, and I got sidetracked. I mentioned that I said, hey, look, what can I do? Is it food? Is it toys? And as soon as I said toys, that 10-year-old who had been so standoffish of me, and I mean, he still was standoffish no matter what, but there was just this moment, this little glimmer in his life, like he almost smiled. And he looked at his mom, and his mom looked at him, and she said, what? He said, nothing. I said, they got toys on the boat? Oh, yeah, they do. Two says, no, Joe, you're right. Kids suck. No, they don't. Kids are the future, man. They are the future. Anyways, moving on. White Kofsky says, Joe confronts deadbeat in a Viking helmet series. I am a hardhead, that's for sure. Steve says, can you do a video on how to replace outside wood panels? Sure can. Send me a message on what you got. I'll walk you through it. Hit me up on Facebook Facebook on the After Prison Facebook or the Joe Does Stuff Facebook. What kind of wood panels you talking about? I just put a whole bunch of wood panels up in my ceiling in my shed from my house repair work that I was doing that I'm no longer doing. I gave up on the house. The wind was completely taken out of my sails on my house project. So, not that I wanted to back burner that because I was so adamant. I was like, yo, we about to sell this. We're going down south. We're like, I got it all planned out. And then the wind got completely taken out of my sails. Something happened that, well, you can't work around that situation. Mr. B. Green, what's going on? Shout out to you. You were late to the first party, but not to this one. And we just getting started over here, man. Shout out to the 153 up in here. We still here. Appreciate you guys taking the time to rock with me on this Friday afternoon. I'm going to share something with you, a little fodder, I guess you could call it. Coney says, bro, is that a green screen in the background? It is a green screen. It's a long story about that. It's a green screen, but I shit you not, literally, if I lift up the green screen, there's literally a real set of jail bars that look just like that right behind it. I'm actually getting ready to sell that real set of jail bars. Like, I have no use for them anymore. I was going to paint them gold, turn it into fine art, and try to sell them for like $500. I think somebody would buy them. D, shout out to you. Appreciate that. Still moving down south. I wish that I could, but unfortunately I can't. Something happened the other day that screwed me up big time. I didn't even realize it until today, as a matter of fact. It was all put in perspective for me today. Yeah, I shit you not, man. If I lift up that green screen right there, there's a set of jail bars. You know what? I'm going to do that for you because that at least gives me a chance to talk about my shirt. And then I'm going to talk about the moving situation. D, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. All right, watch this. Sorry, I had to make sure I had pants on. Sometimes I forget. It's still there. That belly is still there. Get this chair out of the way. And forgive me, I got the work pants on. But woo, look at that chest, boy. Look at that chest. Woo. Hey, that shit coming through for you, boy. Oh, shit. We'll talk about that in a moment. Watch this. Watch this. It's almost like a freaking a reveal. What's back there? Can you see that? Can you see that set of jail bars right there? I hope you can see that. There's all sorts of shit back there that I didn't realize was back there. Yeah. Hey, Brandon, shout out to you. I feel like I'm on a TikTok live right now. Watch this. I want to show you something. Check this out. I know that I still look like I'm fat, but watch this. You see that? This shirt, I've had this shirt for probably 2 or 3 years. It's a fitted shirt. I'm tall, so I need the long shirt, and I love the sleeves on this. But it's very loose right here. Super loose. Very, very loose. That's important. And I want to share this for why. So I've had this shirt for 2 or 3 years. Now, being a big guy and then being overweight at the same time. Now, I bought these shirts when I was first in shape. So shit, I've probably had these shirts for maybe 4 or 5 years. And when I was in shape, they were fitting me kind of like they're fitting me right now. Tight on the arms, loose on the belly, but, you know, still fitted. Well, over the course of time, as Joe got fatter, again, 280 pounds is what I was just recently at. These shirts were so tight on me that I wouldn't even really want to wear these when I'm filming videos because I did look like I was pregnant. And I had the man boobies really going on. So it was kind of embarrassing wearing these shirts because I was ballooning out of these damn things. It's been over 2 months now, one day over 2 months that I've been working out, fasting, and calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is the most important thing. Do you know that just this morning I got on the scale from 280 pounds in 2 months? This morning I got on the scale, I was 249.2 or 4 pounds. Folks, I have just cracked the 240s. My goal is 225. And looking as thin as I am in the face right now, I don't know that I've got 15 more or 20 more pounds to lose. I don't know, because I remember when I did this the last time, I couldn't break 230. I got down to about 230 something, and I couldn't get no lower, and that's when I started giving up. I was like, you know what, screw it. But I was doing it different then. I was working out stupid hard and fasting, but I wasn't calorie deficit, and I was still drinking alcohol. And let me tell you something, alcohol is the biggest crippler of fitness. Super bad. I got to get into some of these donos, man. You guys are being kind today. I appreciate that. D, again, shout out to you. I'm going to talk about moving south in just a moment and why right now I can't. Brandon, shout out to you, brother. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. John, shout out to you. Still going to do your roof replacement. It would be awesome to take notes. My roof is not all the way gone, so I'm not doing my roof replacement. I've got a couple of sections, like some tin roofs that I would like to just replace with shingles. But I'm certainly not in the one financial aspect to do a roof, even doing it myself. And then two, logistically with labor. When you do a roof, you want 2 or 3 guys on it. It's just nice, especially for the tear off, especially for the toting. 2 or 3 guys is what you want on a roof, at the least. That's why people got whole roofing crews. The Bobo sign, it got hit by the chair. The O was on the floor. The O had always been broken off of the Bobo sign, but it sits up there well. I didn't get a chance to put it back up there. Sorry. So it's the Bebo right now. It's the Bebo. Jim says, looking hot, Joe, full ditty. I feel better. I'm proud of myself for taking this as serious as I have this time. I'm doing this for my children. My health and me being here is important for my children. Because when Liam was born, I ain't even going to lie to you. I was thinking to myself, I was like, shit, by the time he's 10, I'll probably be gone. Like dead. But now I got another child on the way. Now, I'd like to leave some sort of a legacy for these kids. I'd like to leave something. Okay. I can't move down south. It all went to hell in a handbasket the other day. The other day I get a piece of mail, and it's from my my mortgage company, and they always send you this, and they let you know like what's going on with the mortgage. Like there's money that gets put into escrow from what you pay every month toward your mortgage, and that escrow is kept for the entire year. And then at the end of the year, they pay your personal property tax. They pay your flood insurance. Like, they pay things with that money that comes from escrow so that you don't have to pay out of pocket for it. I get a letter from my mortgage company telling me that my mortgage has now gone up, or I need to pay this fee or this negative balance. I think it's like $600 or $800. So I have to pay this balance of $600 or $800, and if I don't pay it, they're just going to tack it onto my mortgage, which is going to increase even more. So here's what I've got. My mortgage is going up from what it currently is, which I've got a good mortgage. It's not nothing crazy. People pay way more for rent than I pay on my mortgage, so my mortgage is good. Even with the increase, it's still fine. But it's a pain in the ass because now my mortgage is going up by like about $100 a month because of this negative balance in escrow to cover my personal property tax on my house. And I didn't understand this at first, but then it made perfect sense. The city has done jacked up their assessed value of all of the houses in the city. So now everybody's mortgage is going up. And they've done it so much that your mortgage ain't going to cover, or that escrow money is not going to cover what's being taken out. So not only do they have to get some additional money from you, they also have to increase your mortgage. And see, I already live in like the shittiest city in my state. We got a fucking casino that brings in $20 million a month, where you get a substantial amount of taxes from those from those profits. And there's nothing to show for. The city ain't improving. I mean, not really. You've got private investors coming in and building shit. And in that regard, it's improving. But this city is such a snake oil salesman type of a thing. They're screwing the game up for everybody. So again, like I said, I saw that and I didn't think too much of it. I was like, whatever. But anyways, my wife went and had to go buy a new car seat because we don't have the infant car seat anymore. So she found one on Facebook Marketplace for $100. And it's from a lady who was right down the street. And she's got a beautiful home. Very nice, I guess, well-to-do couple. And their house is way nicer than our house. And their house is for sale. So my wife was talking with her this morning about them trying to sell their house and how we were thinking about selling ours. And she was like, yeah, it's crazy. It's been such a shit show because the day they listed the house, they got a full price offer on the house that very day. And then the next day, the people reneged and backed out of the deal. And they haven't had not one person put an offer in yet since then. Maybe those people had some inside information that the property taxes in this city were going to go up again, which they're already the second highest in the state, right behind the richest county in the state, and also one of the richest counties in the country, a place called Fairfax, Virginia. How are our taxes the same as rich folks' land when, dog, I live in Baghdad? I'm saying I can go one block down the street and there is nothing but the worst of the worst. Matter of fact, I can go one block in any direction and damn near get to that. We got murders every day, drug activity out of control. The police ain't doing a damn thing. We've got kids living on the streets, living on abandoned boats. Ain't nobody trying to buy no house in this city. And if they was, all that shit went out the window when they still raising these taxes. So, gas going up, groceries going up, taxes going up. You can't catch a break. Jarez says yapping. Call Gay Dave. Call Gay Dave. I haven't seen Gay Dave in a little bit of time, but my wife has seen him because it was actually because of my wife that Gay Dave has the job that he has now. Got him a really good job. And I heard he got fat. She just saw him like yesterday. She was like, yo, he's gained a lot of weight. And I don't know if you know or not, but maybe I could help him get back. I've been so motivated with the health kick. I remember years ago on After Prison Show, 10 years ago, him and I, when we first started doing videos together, we did one video from the gym at my apartment talking about we was about to get prison fit, and then that idea went out the window immediately. What if Gay Dave is pounding Twinkies all day? What if he's doing that? What if I could help him get back? I get up with him on some Tyrone type of shit. You know how Tyrone goes and smacks the cigarette out of people's hand? I run up on him. I smack the Twinkie out of his hand. Give me 10 push-ups right now. Come on, let's go. Let's do some burpees. That's what I'm doing. I am obsessed with prison fitness. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm seeing like all this burpee content, and I freaking love. I can't do half of it. I can do some of it. But, man, they be doing some wild shit. Peter says, what about Rabbit? I don't know the first thing about him, but listen, sometimes good news is better than no news. Rabbit, this is what I believe the latest information I can tell you about Rabbit is. And matter of fact, I'm about to look to confirm this. I believe that Rabbit got out of jail. I believe that he went to a program. And I would hope to God that he moved out of state because he did have a love interest and girlfriend who lived in another state who was trying so badly to help him. I would love to know that he went there. The alternative is he's in prison right now. I'm getting ready to look to see and make sure that that's not true. Hey, Dan, shout out to you, man, for baby number 2. You done did more for me for my child on the way than my own damn family has. And I hate that that's a shot, but, man, it is. Hey, Dan, your W's in the chat, Dan. W's in the chat for you, brother. Listen, I'm not here to guilt trip. Please don't take this as a pity party, but it is unbelievably sad, the life that my wife and I live. So lonely. My wife's family is down south. Of course, that's where we want to go to get my children closer to their family because, obviously, in Virginia, I ain't got shit going on with any type of outside family. So, you know, my wife ain't never had no baby shower. And she ain't ever got no friends, you know. We all we got. We all we got. And I feel so bad about that. Oh. It's wild. I mean, we don't need anything, but it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing, the baby shower thing. Like, that's important for women. That's important. But that's all right, though. Wait until you meet baby number 2, because baby number 2's name is already solidified, and the name has so much meaning behind it. So much meaning. Dan, we all family, brother. Vlad says, have you heard where Cody is? Cody works a job where he can't, and he not only is it that he can't, he doesn't want to get back involved in this. But people move away from this. Unfortunately for me, I just can't, and I haven't. After Prison Show was the greatest thing that I ever did in my life outside of my children, and it's hard for me to say that it's ran its course, which it pretty much has. There's going to be a time when, I'm moving on to other things content-wise. Joe does stuff, and I even thought about creating another new channel called, Dad vs. the World or some shit like that. But Cody has a job. He has a career. He has a life outside of this. Doing this comes with a lot. This is like making a deal with the devil. In a lot of regards, it's just like that. Because a lot of negative comes from this. You got to read comments that are shit. Now, of course, if Cody ever came back, the comments would be great for him. Virginia, DOC. All right, let's see if Rabbit's in prison. I don't think that he is, though. But if he is, that would suck. What's his name? William? I mean, he's got the most common name in the world, so I imagine there's probably 20 of them in prison. Yeah, that ain't him. That ain't him. How many of these are there? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy. Oh, my God, he's still locked up. Where is he? I don't know what that is. I need to look that up. Damn, I would have thought he got out by now. Oh, shit, that's not what I meant to do. Look that up. Oh, wait a minute. I think he's out. I think he's out, actually. I got one other way that I can do this, and I'm pretty sure he's not still in the jail. Damn. They said that he was locked up in PNP, and I was like, what is PNP? And PNP is probation and parole. But it says that there's a warden for that shit. Like, what the hell is that? Yeah, he ain't in the jail, so he must have got out. I don't know where he's at. I might need to try to find him. I hate to say that because, look, there's something that I've learned, and it's taken me a long time to learn it. As a matter of fact, I tried to do an investigative piece recently involving a radio show host who tried to do a good deed for a homeless guy in the community and how that thing blew up in his face and it turned into a lot of drama. And two realizations came from that. One, sometimes trying to help somebody can do more damage than good. And two, sometimes it's best to leave well enough alone. Rabbit is a great guy when he's sober, and he struggles like so many other people do. But sometimes people just need their space. So as much as it would be great to get the old gang back together, maybe getting back together with After Prison Show and everything that came along with it, you think about some of the videos and some of the drama and the bad times, maybe that's not something people really want to be reliving. I'm not trying to make excuses for it. I really tried to look at the psychological damage that something like this can do. Because what I've realized, and it took me so long to realize it, is this can do a lot of psychological damage. It can do a lot. Holly, hello to you. Shout out to you. Tag, what it do? Appreciate you guys getting up in here. JD Stakes, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through here. Games, what it do? Salvation Army, possibly. Yeah. He's released, but he's probably in a halfway house because he didn't have anywhere, as far as I know, he didn't have anywhere to go. Paul Yates, I remember when you drug tested Rabbit. He probably was the first person that ever pulled that shit on. I need to say this, too. Actually, I can't confirm nor deny that. I was going to say that it was pre-rehearsed, not staged, but, I'd like to believe I told Rabbit beforehand, hey, look, this is what I want to do. It's going to be great for video. Take this piss test. And whether he was dirty or clean and whether he ever did it or not, like, I can't, somebody did. I think Remy did. Oh, Remy. Y'all remember that dude? Hey, Drew, what's going on? What are you doing, Joe? Shit. Filmed a ton of video today. Did some work. Wrapped up a week worth of work today. And I'm just chilling, waiting to go get my son. Enjoy the weekend. Not sure what we're getting into yet. Redskin Chris said Danny. I don't know that we piss tested Danny. Did we? I don't think we did. Maybe we did. Social Hostage said Danny. Maybe I did. I can't remember. It's been so damn long. Hey, you have a great weekend as well, Drew. I filmed a bunch of reaction content today, some prison stuff, a lot of stuff for Joe Does Stuff because I haven't had a chance to do anything for Joe Does Stuff Facebook lately. And that's a big part of my repertoire of content. That shit usually does really well, my reaction content over there on Facebook. That's pretty cool. What else do we got? What else do we got? Oh, there was something that I was looking for doing a reaction to earlier. I couldn't find it earlier. I just found it. You know what? I'm going to share a story with you guys over here. And here's the deal. This story is definitely not an after prison show story at all. It's a Joe Does Stuff story. And it's a story that I had a video filmed for, and I didn't run with the video, and I don't know why I didn't run with it. I can't remember. There was something about it that I didn't like. I think maybe it hit a little too close to home in one regard. But what did I do with the other part of this? So, let me see if I can find the part of this that I'm looking for. I had to put it... shit. Forgive me, I'm grasping at straws right now. Somebody had said that's what I'm doing with content, and I thought it was a great name for a podcast. I was like, holy shit, grasping at straws. That is a great name. Did I make it a short for Facebook? I mean, for YouTube? I didn't. Did I make it a video? I don't remember why I didn't upload this video. Y'all talking about who I was still piss testing? Dan says I kind of miss Brandy. I wonder whatever happened to her. I never heard another thing about her after all of that. She got paid. She kind of blew up, went a little viral. Probably made a couple $100 from us going to visit her, which, you know, could you imagine if we were a bigger channel and she would have got even more exposure and more gifts? And then she ghosted everybody. That was kind of shitty to do. But anyways, I was going to share a story with you. This happened in my local area, and it really involved, like I said, the Joe Does Stuff type of shit. And I can't find the other video that I wanted to share in relation to this. It's on my other computer. I didn't put it in any drives or anything like that. So check this out. I used to have a job in the midst of all of this. You remember when I was a project manager? Y'all remember that? And I got fired from that job. And there was a lot about that I didn't put out there. And I'm not going to do that now. And this is part of the reason why I didn't share the video, because I felt like I might be a little too close to home with this, with that job. And, you know, I always took the high ground in terms of, look, you know, it is what it is. Not everything was made for the internet, but it kind of is. So when I took that job, I had just failed with my last business venture. And matter of fact, it was the business venture that really did me in. It's the business venture that I invested everything into, and it absolutely crippled me in the end. That was my apartment painting business. Now, the shit thing about that is I realized post haste, you know, a lot of the mistakes that I made that I could have corrected, that might have saved it, and probably would have. But too little, too late. To defend myself a little bit, ultimately, in most situations, when we would get fired from an apartment complex, it was because of our price, never the quality of work. Because in apartment painting, the quality doesn't frickin' matter. Yeah, they might bitch about it, but they're going to use you so long as the price is right. If the price is right, they don't give a damn otherwise. And there's some guys who are out there doing this shit for next to nothing. Matter of fact, segue real quick to another little side story. I just had a person reach out to me yesterday or the day before, about a pretty small drywall repair job and flooring replacement in a laundry room, and mentioned that there was mold that needed to be remediated as well. And I told them, ballpark, based on some pictures that they sent me, we're looking at probably about $4,200 to $4,700. Your water heater's right there. We're going to need to remove your water heater. There needs to be a pan installed under your water heater. You know, I'm thinking that this was a full-on gut job for this laundry room. They got back to me today and told me that they decided to go with somebody else who was cheaper. And they also told me when they first reached out to me, I was their third quote. And I was fine with that. No big deal. So when they reached out today and told me that they were going to go with somebody who was cheaper, I said, well, thank you for letting me know. I said, if you don't mind, hey, what was the winning bid? I'd like to know for my own reference moving forward. Do you know these people told me $900? Now, mind you, I know my price might sound like it's a tad bit high. It probably is. However, I'm right in the wheelhouse. When you look at a job that's a full gut down to the studs and the flooring needs to come up too, and it's probably real hardwood floor, it could be just a small space, and you're mentioning mold that needs to be abated and remediated, you ain't paying nothing less. But obviously I was mistaken. $900. Gee golly. Anyways, I was flabbergasted. But getting back to the big story that I want to share with you, when my business failed, ironically, we failed because of pricing. We were too expensive. So slowly but surely, all the properties dropped us until we were left with nothing. And except a lot of debt and a lot of money that was coming in way too late, whatever. So when I take on the opportunity, or when I get the opportunity to go work for this guy who's bigger than me, he's a big fish according to what I was thinking. You know, he's doing big work. And he's got a lot of people. He runs a real good operation. It was a much larger operation than mine. So I was like, man, not only would this be a good job for me, but maybe I could learn a couple of things. Obviously, he's doing something right that I did wrong, so I'd love this opportunity to figure out where I did it wrong at. Well, I only worked for the guy for 3 months before I would get fired because I just could not keep my mouth shut and bite my tongue any longer, and I was taking a lot of shit, and that was part of it. But the lessons that I learned weren't good lessons. For example, and again, this is why I got to be easy here, because I got to toe this line. They weren't good lessons. The short of it was, Buddy was doing a lot of things that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Whether it would be a certain scope of work, whether it would be working with a certain type of person or company or ownership. And he worked with some ownerships that were just the worst. I'm saying I failed in 3 years. I screwed it all up. But the one thing that I knew was who to do business with and who not to do business with. You just know. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. So this story that I'm getting ready to share with you is so crazy, because what I learned from this story was there's some people who are very successful who don't know the people you don't go working with. So there was this one apartment complex, or one company, I should say, because there was a couple of apartment complexes that this guy worked for that I had to oversee work at. And one of these apartment complexes was like the worst of the worst. It's in my city. It's a bad place. I almost got robbed in the parking lot over a cigarette. Like, it's some very bad shit out in this neighborhood. It's a shithole. It's a slum. It's just bad off. And back then I smoked. I had to smoke. The job made me do so. So anyways, the work that they were doing out there was renovating apartments, and they were in deep. We're talking $100,000+ in deep with these people, and they ain't been paid yet. And see, when you start to do apartment work, please God, take this with a grain, like take this and run with it. You don't let people run up a tab. Okay, my tab was 15 grand. If you got beyond 15 grand with me, I'm ready to go rent a 16-passenger van, fill it up with homeless people, post them up in front, make them paid actors to stand in front of your apartment complex and turn that bitch into Skid Row. I'm not worried about small claims court where we can go and settle for half and now I'm really losing my ass. Nah, bitch, we going auxiliary measures. This is chemical warfare type shit I'm trying to play, because when you play with my money, nah. And see, because Joe got gully too, people also fired me. Oh shit, hey, look, if this guy's not willing to wait and he don't understand the rules of the game, the rules of engagement are just because it's net 30. See, forgive me for this, because this is Joe Does Stuff, but it's just a great story to share that I never got a chance to share. When you do apartment work, you got to wait 30 days to get paid. But if they're a good company, they'll pay you within like 2 weeks, a week. They'll get you paid quick. But if they're not, or their money's funny, 30 days turns into 60, 90, 6 months, court dates, shit like that. To let a company get you for $100,000, you are as fuck can be. Okay, because you're dead. Like, it's over for you. It is small claims court and you're going to settle. So while I'm doing this work as a project manager and knowing what's going on in regards to all of that and having to deal with this point of contact who is this real piece of shit woman who runs, the show for this company, for this apartment complex, and for the management company, my interaction with her is very limited because I made one comment to her where I just said, no, that's not correct, and it's really like this. And she took that as me being rude and said that she didn't want to talk to me anymore and that all our communication needed to be third-partied through somebody else. So as soon as I saw that she got defensive behind a legitimate statement of facts, I was like, wow, this shit is out of whack. But then come to find out, all she was doing was blaming not only me, but all the work that was being done. Oh, you didn't do it good enough. It was, all of these are just excuses to say why you're not getting paid. Because there's so much money outstanding and everything becomes a reason for why the money's being held up. Meanwhile, owner of the company I'm working for is freaking out, jumping down my shit, and I can't control nothing. You mad at me because she's making a fuss over nothing when really it's all smoke and mirrors in regards to you getting paid, and how you let yourself get into this is preposterous to me. But you did. And as a project manager, I'd be the fall guy. So I share all of that with you because we're going to watch a video together. And this is what really threw me for a loop. I want to introduce you. Where are we going to go? We're going to go right here. And we're going to go, I want to introduce you to, where the hell is it? Oh, I got to come back here. Oh, I was on the wrong page. Sorry. There we go. So let me introduce you for the third time to, dude, where is it? And I hate when I do that. Go there. God bless it, man. Streamlabs is the worst. Let me introduce you to we got to wait for the ad to play. Sorry about that. Let me pull up the chat. Damn, where's my phone at? Oh my God, what is this? A 40-second ad? JG Wentworth, get cash now. That's ironic, considering what this story is about. All right. All right, here we go right here, folks. I can't remember the name of the guy at the center of this story, but it's definitely a good story. And the woman that I was talking about, she's in the video too. This is also what inspires me to be a local vigilante out here doing shit, is stories like this.
Money owed for picking up trash at local apartment complexes.
Can y'all hear this?
On your side has learned of contractors that are owed tens of thousands of dollars for hauling away garbage. Our Andy Fox is following up on his investigation. Andy.
All right, here we
Aisha
go.
and Tom, our report, The Disgust at the Dumpsters, back on March 13th.
Check this out.
Got tens of thousands of views on Wavy's YouTube page. We bet this story you are about to see, dumpster debt dodged, will do even better. Omar Custis is a self-made man.
All right, so this guy Omar, he has a company. It's a junk removal service in my local area called Haul Gone. He's one of the biggest players in the area, self-made guy, and he deals primarily with apartments. So for him to get wrapped up in this blew my mind. I thought he would know better, but clearly it just goes to show even well-versed, successful people can fall for the okie doke.
Walking around the maintenance yard of his company, Haul Gone LLC.
We started with one pickup, one trailer 5 years ago.
In this email, Custis contacts 10 on Your Side's investigative team because one company, Ritz Bank Group, known as RBG, owes him, he says, over $42,000 for junk and trash removal from 7 of their properties.
Now, real quick, I need to put this in perspective. RBG, if you know, you know, in my local area, and this goes for anywhere in the country too. If you deal with multifamily or commercial or apartments, you know, or you should become very well versed in who the players are, who the management companies are. These are so important to know. And the only way that you go about knowing is you talk to the maintenance staff, you talk to your local Sherwin-Williams. Hey, I'm getting ready to start working at this place. You know, what do you know? And they will tell you straight up. But RBG is a company in my local area that's known as don't go there. And they got some other companies wrapped up under their little umbrella too. One other thing to mention, dog, $42,000 in apartment junk removal. To put that into perspective, to trash out one apartment, let's say somebody got evicted and left shit in the unit, you're talking about $300 to do that. $300. So imagine how many trash outs you did to rack up a $42,000 bill.
They do a lot of sneaky stuff, man.
Custis says this is how RBG operates.
They pay you just enough to keep you hooked in, and they give you other properties to make you feel like there's more potential to grow there, and then you never get paid.
Wow.
So we went to one of RBG properties.
This is the
Newport
property.
Landing in Portsmouth that Custis says owes him about $13,000, and they saw us coming. Yes.
We're not making any
I'm
comments.
Andy Fox.
I know who you are. I need you to step off the
Listen,
property.
$12,000 you owe Omar.
So shout out to Andy Fox in my local area. He is a freaking G when it comes to this. Now, mind you, that apartment complex that he's at right now, Newport Landing, that's the apartment complex that I was doing the project manager work at. And the woman that he just talked to right there, she's the lady who I had to deal with, who was a real thorn, just a real not so pleasant person to have to deal with. And this guy, Andy Fox, he gets the door slammed in his face going to the apartments. I take a lot of inspiration from this guy because what he decides to do next.
$13,000. We also went to RBG property, Doria Apartments in Virginia Beach. Custis says he's owed $18,690 from that property, and the property manager would not go on camera but told us off camera.
As of February 18th, the property sold from RBG to new ownership, and RBG is no longer affiliated with Doria.
Okay, real quick, before we get to that G move that this guy's about to do, that real gangster move, this is the other game that these type of shit companies will do. They'll sell the property to different LLCs and then liquidate those LLCs. So he's owed $42,000 from an LLC that's probably about to not even exist anymore. It is a dirty game that these people do. And when you get caught up in between a sale of apartments, because that shit happens more times than you think, man, your money is gone. You never want to have an apartment get sold while you're owed money. And if you even get wind that there's a sale looming or that they're trying to sell, don't let them get indebted to you. Be very careful.
Custis says his main connection to RBG is one person.
Here we go.
Christina Williams,
There she be.
operations manager for RBG.
Gosh,
Custis holds Williams and RBG responsible for failing to pay him nearly $43,000.
She was the only reason that we let it get as far as it did, is because she made me comfortable and made me feel like, she was wanting to get us taken care of.
Wow.
Repeated emails went unanswered, so we went looking for Christina Williams.
Yo, they went to
and
her
found
house.
her at her home, and
They went to
she
her
was
house.
not happy to see us. Hi, Christina. I'm Andy Fox.
Oh, my God.
And I want to know why you are not paying the people who are doing the work for you.
I'm the one that pays the bills. I don't pay the bills. The property management company, they earn the money, they pay the bills.
37 minutes after that confrontation, Christina Williams texts Omar Custis stating, if you are owed money, all you had to do was call me and let me know. I would have jumped in to get you paid. You didn't have to send wavy news to my house. I am not responsible for paying anything, but I could have tried to help out to get you paid.
Unbelievable.
Custis immediately shot back to Williams in this text. If you truly wanted to help, the opportunity was there before it escalated. You ordered these jobs, I trusted you, and you screwed me over. So until my balance is paid in full, I will exhaust every resource that I have.
I think they take advantage of smaller companies.
Custis has even tried taking RBG to court.
We've gone to court. They don't show up to court.
And then there's a former property manager, an insider, if you will, on what was going on with RBG, Latanya Johnson.
So it was like a ghost. There was no information to it. You couldn't contact her. You couldn't do anything unless you went through Christina. And that's the only way I knew anything more about the company and the property and who owns it.
Now, real quick, to be fair, the Christina woman is right. Christine, whatever her name is, she's right. She's not the one that writes the checks. She is essentially what I was when I had that job as a project manager. When I got that job as a project manager, the first day that I worked there, the only bit of good advice that I got was from the point of contact that I had, my boss, who told me, as a project manager, your number one responsibility is to basically be the fall guy when shit hits the fan. When shit hits the fan, you're gonna go. I got it. Okay, when you're telling me it's like that, I already understand the assignment. She can't pay you with money that they don't have. And what's wild is you might think, man, these apartments are bringing in thousands of dollars, like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in rent. So where is all that money going? There's apartments that have literally $0 in the bank. They can't pay you with money that they don't have. And what happens is when all of this money comes in, they got to pay. This is what they got to pay. They got to pay that mortgage first. Then they got to pay their electric, their water, the bills that they really have. Then they have to pay their own staff. Whatever's left of that money, in some cases, when you've got these shithole companies where somebody has invested in this, a company has invested in this, and this was a bad business decision, they're trying to pull every freaking dollar out of that they can, in some cases, to recoup what they've lost in this bad deal. So you as a contractor going in there hearing, oh yeah, we going to get you paid. Oh, we can't pay you yet, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 3 more properties that are belly up like the first 2. This is how they rope you in. That guy, Omar from Hallgone, I don't know him personally. He's got a great name, great reputation in the area. Great company. He will do whatever it takes to get the shit done for you, but he expects to get paid. And when you don't get paid, $42,000 there, over $100,000 with the guy that I worked with. Hey, this is nightmare fuel.
Now, finally, a 10 on your side success involving Melinda Tilley. We reported last month RBG owed
Look
her
at this shit.
thousands.
Also, real quick to mention, when your dumpster area, like let's just say, for example, you wanted to get into the apartment game. This apartment's literally right around the corner from my house. I see this. I illegally dump at this property from time to time. They got signs up all over the place. We got cameras. You clearly don't. Okay, you clearly freaking don't. You can't afford garbage. You can't afford cameras. But take it as some advice. Let's say you wanted to start becoming an apartment painter, apartment cleaner, apartment landscape, apartment maintenance, whatever. If you go to an apartment complex, and there's two things that you look for no matter what, first and foremost. You look at what their grass looks like, and then you look at what their trash looks like. These are the two easiest and most important things that need to be maintained on an apartment complex, especially when you're dealing with a nicer apartment complex. Because how are you going to charge an exuberant amount of rent when your apartment complex looks like shit? So if your trash looks like this, you know they ain't even paying the trash man. And if they're not going to pay the trash man or the grass man, then your ass is grass, man. If you go there and think you're going to get paid for rendering any services. Not only am I going to be the next Wes Watson, I think I got a chance at being the next Ty Lopez too. I might have failed in business, but I got some logic. Hey, I'll be dropping some jewels.
Removal from a RBG property. Tilly tells us, following our report, RBG paid up the entire amount owed of more than $5,300.
Yeah, $5,300 ain't shit compared to 42 something. And I can tell you from what I know, they'll try their hand in court with you before they will pay you when they run up a tens of thousands of dollar bill. Because usually when you go to court for small claims, let's settle. Okay, look, there's no need to debate this and you lose and this costs you more money. You're a small business, so let's go ahead and settle this, okay? Let's settle it for a, agreed upon sum. It's not going to be the full amount. Maybe 50%, 45. Give you 45% of what's owed to you. We just call it even. At that point, you'd be inclined to take it because you're just trying to get anything out of it. Unbelievable. How does that relate to After Prison Show? Those people should all be in prison, to be honest. The ownership and, how you sleep at night when you let these people come work for you knowing damn well you ain't going to pay them and you can't pay them. Crazy. Crazy shit, man. Shit, I had a bunch of texts. I got to get ready to wrap this thing up. I got to get ready to go pick my son up. I ran for a good hour over here. Shout out to that. Hey, look, I got some content. I will be sharing some videos with you guys. These live streams, I really enjoy this. I love this interaction that I get to have with you guys. I appreciate you rocking with me still. After Prison Show is, if there's anything that can be done here, I'm always looking for what's fresh and what's new in terms of what I can bring to content. To the genre, I don't think there's anything left that I can do for the genre. I have a real complex when it comes to copying or following what everybody else is doing. And that's always been one of my flaws. It might be a pride issue, but I like to believe that what I bring is unique sometimes, especially moving forward. Doing the same old, it's not going to work. It's played out, at least for me, it's played out in how my content performs. So what I feel like my best course of action moving forward is real life, hard-hitting, expose, investigative, whatever. Whether it's in the trenches, whether it's undercover, whether it's any of what I've been sharing with you, like helping these kids who are living on this boat, exposing this old, no longer existing reentry that was ran by pedophiles, any kind of wild stories that I run across, especially locally, where I can really go out there and get them. Piss for pay. I really am really interested in getting that off and seeing how wrong that's going to go. Take the hot chip challenge. Instead of the hot chip, it's the hot piss challenge. Like I believe in that idea really big. And I'm going to follow my intuition with this. And it's this type of energy that gives me a sense of purpose. Because when I'm doing things that seem purposeless, it really sucks the wind out of my sails. Thank you all for taking the time to rock with me on this. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you for the donations on this. So many of you guys were generous, and it really means a lot. Thank you all so much. All of that's going to go to a good cause, helping my family, and helping my family is what I need to do so that I can be doing what I need to do when it comes to content, if that makes any sense. Appreciate you guys. Have a great one. There'll be more content over this weekend, whether it's a live stream or some video content. Thank y'all. I'll look forward to talking with you again real soon. And until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day.